ET craft, a reverse engineering of them, the ET bodies, and the man-made, what they call ATs, which is advanced technology, which are the man-made UFOs, which are most of what people see. Now, of course, the covert transnational corrupt organization running covert UFO UAP programs knows this. And of course, they can monitor everything with or without an encrypted block. And they are now launching what we had predicted in the late 1990s, and that is a series of diversionary false flag events to confuse the public and the politicians and the Pentagon as to what these UAPs are. So the whole launch of the drones that you're seeing in the United Kingdom, those started after I got back to the United Kingdom, providing briefings to the senior leadership of that country about this emerging disclosure that will be the biggest event in modern human history, frankly. The people coming forward are not secondhand or even minor firsthand. These are operators assigned to special forces who've now risen up to a senior position at these key black sites, and they will be unmasked. They will be named. They will have the evidence. They will have the proof. And that's all happening in the next 30 days or so. I am telling you this because it is imminent. It's why I've been on a tour all over the world, meeting with senior officials in the U.S. government, the incoming administration, the current leaders in the House and the Senate. In fact, I just got back from Washington last night. So that is what is happening. The drones are a predictable launch of a diversionary and a confusing event. They're certainly not extraterrestrial or NHI. The pop culture now is non-human intelligence term, NHI craft. It's clear that they're able to have assets that are ground-based or in STIFs, subterranean facilities, or what some people call DUMBs, deep underground military bases, where they can launch these sort of objects and create all kinds of confusion and alarm and panic. This is now breaking all into the mainstream news, just as this group is pivoting to disclose the facts and the real information. So this is a PSYOP, psychological warfare operation. We predicted it. We've been predicting it for 25 years. If you read my paper that I wrote in 1999, it's on our website, drstephengreer.com, and it states very pointedly that the actors who are keeping this secret will take the momentum of disclosure and try to turn it into an alien invasion scenario, a good versus bad alien scenario, a way to keep war running all over the world, and also aggrandize the military-industrial complex with trillions of dollars in new spending to create a countermeasure to the alien threat. So we know this was the plan that was hatched in 1953 or so at the CIA. We have documents to that effect, and that it would only take place because there had been a long-term, multi-decade psychological warfare operation that began in the late 50s in earnest with the man-made UFOs, and then later where they were using altered humans, and then in the later robotic aliens to abduct humans and to instigate terrorizing events like mutilations. And on occasion where they placed these man-made UFOs over developing world villages and blown up the whole village and killed dozens of people. Now, we have people on the inside who know all this. And so now the incoming president doesn't know this, the Congress doesn't know this, and 99.9% of the Pentagon don't know it. But this is what's going to be coming out in part. Put out there, we don't know, but it will absolutely be dispositive proof themselves, meaning they'll be named, is new. I just learned that a couple weeks ago when the leader of that group met with me at my place in Washington, D.C. So we'll see what happens if they don't get scrubbed. I mean, if they're not assassinated between now and then, this is what's coming out. And I'm making an attempt. I sort of joke, I've become the cosmic Paul Revere, going around trying to give a heads up to leaders around the world about this.
Exactly. Busy times right now, and it's crazy what's going on in the major media on how they're putting it out there. We don't know what these things are, but don't worry about it. They don't mean us any harm. And some of
Well, what
these,
nonsense. We know what they are and we know why they're there. Now, the press conference at the Pentagon today, there was a young woman who was saying, well, blah, blah. And I think, honestly, now people say, well, she's lying. She's not lying. Look, I've been briefing people at the level of three-star generals and CIA directors for 31 years this week when I first briefed the director of the CIA, who knew nothing about this issue. They were lying to him. So people make this big mistake and they think that because you're in the US government or the CIA or DOD, Department of Defense, that you know all about this and everyone's in this big conspiracy keeping it secret. No, 99.9% of everyone in the US government, particularly our political leaders, know virtually nothing about this subject. And what they do know is 9 parts disinformation, false information, and maybe 1 part information.